PSG beat Leipzig 3-2, but they were made to work for it. It all started well with Mbappe putting the hosts ahead, but then Leipzig ended up taking a 2-1 lead. PSG got the equaliser through Messi and the winning goal through him, a Panenka penalty. But there is lots to discuss in this game when it comes to the Parisians, especially Jurgen Klinsmann and Frank Leboeuf here with us. I'll start with you, Frank. Did PSG deserve the win?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think they show that they have talents. They show that if there is one mistake from the opponent, and in that case from Adam, they can go back to the game. But otherwise, they were nowhere near it. And Leipzig and their coach, Mr. Jesse Marsch, worked perfectly on what they had to achieve. And they were about to win that game, deserving. But yeah, one mistake and Paris Saint-Germain came back, and the talent of the individuals made the difference. But there is no way that they deserve to win, and I was so appalled by the performance, collective performance of Paris Saint-Germain, at the point that Pochettino, after an hour, had to change almost all his midfields to make it work, play a three at the back, in fact copied Jesse Marsch to cope with the Germans. But otherwise, that wasn't enough, which is crazy because against Manchester City, I don't think Paris Saint-Germain deserved to win, but they did. Again tonight, that they got 6 points. But if they want to win the Champions League, they would have to change something, that's for sure.
Jurgen, would you say that Leipzig exposed PSG's frailties?
Yeah, I think so. I think, RB Leipzig in this game really kind of showed a lot of qualities. They had no fear at all from the beginning on. They try to create their own chances, scoring their own goals, which they did. I mean, they scored twice, 2 beautiful goals. But as Frank said, they kind of beat themselves, with a cheap giveaway from Tyler Adams to one occasion, but also with the 2 penalties not, giving it away to Paris Saint-Germain. And so they invited them basically then to win the game. I think there was far more possible for RB Leipzig in this game, and now they're chasing the group.
Just to stay with you, Jurgen, Angelino really did show the best of himself in this game, didn't he?
Yeah, I mean, he's a special player for RB Leipzig. Angelino also last year already had an unbelievable, consistent season on the left flank. He's always providing opportunities. He's always kind of reading the game far ahead, knows exactly where to be in the space before the ball actually gets into his feet. He's a wonderful player.
So to go back to PSG then, Frank, Messi and Mbappe, obviously 2 different things that we can talk about with them. With Messi, obviously great with the goals that he got. Mbappe opening the scoring, working well with Messi, but then a missed penalty at the end. How would you judge the performance of the 2?
Well, Mbappe had a very good game. He missed the penalty. That may be the only mistake that he made, but was very influential at the beginning of the game, tried his best, even came back to defend. Messi did what Messi does the best, almost never defended. You barely saw him, and suddenly he happened to do something, with a fantastic pass from Mbappe to put Paris Saint-Germain back on track. I would say that they are really the pictures of Paris Saint-Germain capable of being completely invisible, I would say, at some point, and be so talented that they can win the game. I saw Marquinhos as well. You have to name Marquinhos, who did a fantastic game performance today. But we didn't see Verratti. And we didn't see Verratti because he's the guy who put the transition. It's why maybe we didn't see Messi too many times. It's because Verratti was completely isolated by the tactic of Jesse Marsch. And that was complicated to find when Paris Saint-Germain had the ball, either Messi or Mbappe. But Mbappe had a great game today.
So great game from Mbappe. PSG with the win on the day, but many saying that they weren't convincing in that performance. We've just heard it also from Frank. We know Mauricio Pochettino is a good coach, so what's not going right for him here?
I think he's just fallen in with what's happened to every other coach that's been at PSG. The players clearly think more about what they want to do than what the coach wants them to do. And it's the same argument year after year, coach after after coach, that they have problems playing as a unit. And you can't tell me that all the coaches, the Pochettinos and the Tuchels that have been there, you can't tell me that they haven't used their experience to try and turn this team into a team. I think the problem is quite clear, it's quite simple, it's quite straightforward, and Frank said it on numerous occasions already today and in previous games. This side is full of players who are more interested in what they can do than what the team needs them to do.
Yeah, so there's questions to be asked there in the PSG side. Same could be said of Leipzig, though, too, Jurgen. Obviously, there was a lot that Jesse Marsch got right on the night, but in terms of what we've seen in the Bundesliga from them so far, how would you judge them this season?
Well, obviously they lost Upamecano, their leader in the back line, to Bayern Munich, and then obviously also the coach. So Jesse came in and he got his hands around the entire program there at Leipzig, and I think he's doing a really good job. Obviously, he doesn't have the points yet in the Champions League, but in the Bundesliga, step by step, they will climb up and will get closer to Bayern Munich, hopefully, kind of week in, week out. It is not an easy doing. I mean, he has a group of players also there now, which, if you saw who's coming from the bench there today, you actually would have expected some of them from the beginning on, like Forsberg, came in late, a player that had a tremendous good European Championship. So he has also a couple of alpha animals to deal with, and has to find then the right chemistry within that group, and has to define the leadership. And when you compare it to Paris Saint-Germain, obviously, with Neymar, Mbappe and Messi, you have three alpha animals that you need to balance out with the rest of the group, so there's only so much energy, in the pot, I always describe it. And if some alpha animals claim too much energy from that pot, then there's not much air left for the other ones to breathe. So it's an interesting development in these top teams, to what extent you can really afford the top stars, how can you balance that out? And this is the fascinating thing for us fans in that moment, to judge it, to watch it, to see it. Now, today we saw no Neymar yet because he was not there. And even there with Mbappe and Messi, two players that focus mainly on attacking, not on defending, which is understandable. But then the rest needs to defend with everything they have.
Thanks so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. And for more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for premium content and live streaming, subscribe to ESPN Plus.